In one of the most luxurious places in the city, the president of a large company was happily drinking with his friends. He was so absorbed in the fun that he didn't know that outside there was a wanted notice for him. In this situation, even if President Kim had wings, it would be difficult to escape. Sure enough, not long after, he was caught red-handed by the police. But at this moment, President Kim's savior appeared. He was just an ordinary prosecutor, but he was not afraid of anyone. Jin Jung walked into the bar and showed his badge. In terms of legal procedures, the prosecutor had every right to take the criminal out of the hands of the police. Even if the police were unwilling, they could only choose to let go. Jin Jung said goodbye to the police with a smug smile. When Jin Jung left the back door with President Kim, he immediately described the current situation in the simplest way. After Jin Jung took President Kim into the car, he solemnly introduced himself. Jin Jung also made it clear that Jin Jung chose to help Chairman Kim because he wanted to stick with him. Because the prosecutor's salary was too low, Jin Jung had to find an opportunity to change his life. When Chairman Kim knew that the other party's purpose was money, he became much calmer. Because for Chairman Kim, civil servants were just a group of people who exchanged power for money. At a safe intersection, Jin Jung dropped Chairman Kim off. Before Chairman Kim left, Jin Jung carefully instructed Chairman Kim to handle the illegal books as soon as possible. If the police investigated, things would get worse. Chairman Kim felt that this was reasonable. Therefore, Chairman Kim took advantage of the late night to go to an abandoned parking lot. When Chairman Kim had just taken out the book, he was hit by headlights. It turned out that Jin Jung had never left, but he had followed Chairman Kim to get into this place. Jin Jung's purpose was to catch Chairman Kim red-handed. Only then did Chairman Kim realize that Jin Jung had planned this from the beginning. However, an important matter like taking the ledger naturally required good preparation. As soon as Chairman Kim gave an order, a group of thugs immediately appeared. Jin Jung did not panic. He shouted to inform his colleagues, but the surroundings were unusually quiet. Jin Jung immediately called the police group just now. He asked why they didn't show up. However, the phone was passed to Jin Jung's senior. It turned out that because Jin Jung wanted to find evidence of Chairman Kim's crime, he found a group of acting students to play the role of police. After that, Jin Jung also sent his senior a photo. In the photo, Chairman Kim was holding the ledger. If there were no reinforcements, Jin Jung would have to do it himself. After a fierce fight, Jin Jung defeated all the thugs. Since Jin Jung was a child, he had a sense of justice. He always wanted to become a righteous swordsman. To become a swordsman, swordsmanship training is necessary. However, in a sword fight, although Jin Jung defeated his opponent, the referee was exchanging glances. He was slow and did not determine the winner or loser. Jin Jung approached the referee's chair. Jin Jung only saw them taking notes under the opponent's name. It turned out that Jin Jung's opponent was the chairman's son. Jin Jung angrily crumpled the paper and left. Later, Jin Jung happened to see the prosecutor's inauguration ceremony. A new goal immediately arose in Jin Jung's mind. Jin Jung would become a prosecutor who specialized in punishing bad guys. Just like that, Jin Jung became a prosecutor. On the day of his inauguration, Jin Jung brought a wooden sword to the hall to take a group photo. This action left a deep impression on everyone. Because of the case of arbitrarily investigating Chairman Kim, Jin Jung had to write a self-criticism. When Jin Jung returned to the office, he opened an old self-criticism file and changed the preparation time to the correct one. At this time, the office sent a new case file. But Jin Jung was not interested. Jin Jung had been a prosecutor for a year, but he only took on some public morals cases. Suddenly, Jin Jung's eyes lit up because he discovered that in a series of small cases, there was a murder case. Jin Jung immediately opened the case file to read. The victim was brutally murdered, and the murderer had spent the night at the crime scene. After the murderer was discovered by the police the next day, he confessed to his crime. Jin Jung then immediately went to the detention center. Under Jin Jung's questioning, the perpetrator calmly recounted the whole incident. Hyo Jun was a delivery person. That day, when Hyo Jun delivered the goods to Ha Young, she opened the door and accidentally hit Hyo Jun in the head. Ha Young apologized to Hyo Jun perfunctorily, then she softly cursed Hyo Jun. This series of rude actions caused her death. Jin Jung asked why Hyo Jun didn't turn herself in immediately. Hyo Jun lazily replied replied that he was too sleepy so he went to bed first. Through the conversation, Jinjung realized that Hyo-jun's behavior was completely like that of a cold-blooded murderer. Hyo-jun had an antisocial mindset, but Jinjung didn't understand why she felt something was not quite right. The prosecutor's office had a meeting tonight. Senior Ara had told Jinjung to definitely attend, but he wasn't interested. Near the appointed time, Jinjung sent Ara a message. Jinjung said that he forgot the gas valve key in the house, so he wanted to be absent from dinner. But when Jinjung opened the door, he was stopped by Ara. This time, no excuse was used by Jinjung. Jinjung was taken to the bar. Today, their immediate superior, Deputy Chief Prosecutor Jang Won, was also present. Jang Won showed his strong demeanor as soon as he appeared. The two teams of prosecutors lined up to welcome him. They respectfully watched Jang Won enter the private room. After everyone sat down, Ara raised her glass to toast. But before the toast was over, Jinjung's ravenous eating sound reached Jang Won's ears. Jinjung hated this bureaucracy, and he didn't care about career advancement. So Jinjung decided to continue eating, but Ara winked at Jinjung to leave. After Jinjung left, Jang Won reprimanded department head Taeho. Jang Won hinted that Taeho needed to discipline Jinjung more. In the restroom, Jinjung happened to notice that the position of the watch knob next to him was different from his. When Jinjung asked, he knew that the watch was designed specifically for left-handed people. Jinjung remembered that Hyo-jun's watch was also designed like that. That meant Hyo-jun was left-handed. However, all the fingerprints found at the crime scene showed that the murderer killed with his right hand. This was obviously absurd. So Jinjung went to the police station. Jinjung asked to see the interrogation video, but the police could not provide it. Jinjung discovered the car purchase contract on the police desk. Jinjung also saw the expensive watch on Seok-nam's hand. Jinjung then asked So-nam how much money he received to delete the video. Faced with Jinjung's provocation, Seok-nam angrily grabbed Jinjung's collar. Taking advantage of the chaos, Jinjung quickly took Seok-nam's phone. Jinjung then handed it over to his loyal detective, Chun-ki. Jinjung told Chun-ki to crack the phone's password as quickly as possible. Jinjung then returned to the prosecutor's office. Ara saw that Jinjung was still following the case, so she immediately asked Jinjung to stop. Ara didn't care about what Jinjung had discovered. Ara just hoped that Jinjung wouldn't cause trouble. The two of them kept arguing until Taeho arrived. Taeho knew that Jinjung still had doubts about the case, so Taeho encouraged Jinjung to continue following it. Taeho said that the prosecutor's job was to uncover the truth. Very quickly, the search for information on Seok-nam's phone yielded results. Jinjung discovered that after the case was accepted, Seok-nam had contacted an anonymous phone number. Furthermore, the next day, a large sum of cash appeared in Seok-nam's house. Jinjung thought for a moment and decided not to summon Seok-nam as per procedure. Instead, Jinjung and Chun-ki joined forces to kidnap Seok-nam because Jinjung knew that Seok-nam had accepted a bribe to delete the interrogation video. Seok-nam must have had strong support above him. At this moment, Jang Won also met Taeho to request a quick end to the case. However, Taeho refused. If Jang Won could not give a reasonable reason, Taeho would still let Jinjung continue the investigation. On this side, Seok-nam was abused by Jinjung with violence. In the end, Seok-nam also admitted that this case was wrong from the beginning. Hyo-jun was not the real culprit. The police knew that clearly, but they still chose to let Hyo-jun take responsibility. After Jinjung took Seok-nam's statement, he went to see Hyo-jun again. Jinjung showed the other side. Seok-nam's statement. Jinjung asked who the culprit was that could make Hyo-jun take the blame. Hyo-jun's face showed surprise in an instant, but Hyo-jun quickly calmed down. Hyo-jun repeated that he was the culprit. It seemed that Hyo-jun was determined to take this secret to prison. Jinjung had suppressed the case and not prosecuted for a long time. This not only put pressure on Jinjung from his superiors, but the media also began to discuss the case. Taeho had no choice but to transfer the case to another prosecutor. Jinjung lost the right to investigate, but he still hoped that the person taking over the case would be fair and honest. After that, Jinjung handed Seok-nam's confession to prosecutor Do-hwan. Do-hwan was the one who would take over the case. Jinjung also realized that this case was not simple. The person who was able to spend 10 million won to bribe the police was definitely a very influential person, but Do-hwan of course understood this problem. However, before Do-hwan took over the case, Jang Won had made it clear that as long as Do-hwan handled the case well, according to instructions, Do-hwan would be promoted to a higher position. So after Jinjung left, Do-hwan personally tore up Seok-nam's statement. Do-hwan also immediately prosecuted the perpetrator and closed the case. After Jinjung knew of this, he angrily went to the prosecutor's office, but Jinjung found out that he had been suspended from work. Jinjung jumped over the gate, rushed into the office, and beat Do-hwan to the ground. At that moment, Jang Won also arrived. Jang Won angrily slap Jin Jung. Then Jang Won ordered Jin Jung to be transferred to the civil service office. After Jin Jung passed through a large pile of trash, he found this cramped office. In the messy room, there was a bald man who had just woken up. He was Section Chief Park, the only employee of the civil service office. However, even when Jin Jung was pushed into such a difficult situation, he still had the soul of a true swordsman. He did even the most boring jobs enthusiastically. In order to catch a taxi operating illegally, Jin Jung and Chun Ki chased the driver to the rooftop. The driver then fell and broke his leg. After two of them caused trouble continuously, even Section Chief Park had to admire them. People who were exiled to this department usually became bad guys, but Jin Jung became even more brave. Section Chief Park saw through Jin Jung's nature. Jin Jung was too rebellious. He was not suitable to work in this environment of power struggles. He was also not suitable for work at the civil service office. The best thing for Jin Jung was to resign. Chief Park gave Jin Jung an ultimatum. Either Jin Jung had to apologize to the driver with the broken leg, or Jin Jung had to submit his resignation. Reluctantly, Jin Jung had to take Chun Ki to the hospital. The two had to submit to reality. When they arrived at the hospital room, Jin Jung saw the driver eating fried chicken. The driver knew that Jin Jung was here to apologize, so he put on an arrogant expression. When Jin Jung was about to apologize, the driver asked Jin Jung to get his phone. Jin Jung glanced curiously. Jin Jung was surprised to see Ha Young's name appear on the screen. Jin Jung excitedly grabbed the driver's phone. Jin Jung then flipped through the contact list. Jin Jung saw that Ha Young's name was clearly on the list. Jin Jung immediately told Chun Ki to watch the driver for him. At this point, Jin Jung could no longer apologize to the driver. Not only that, Jin Jung had to abuse him even more violently. Finally, Jin Jung knew more information about Ha Young. Ha Young worked in the entertainment industry. She was supported by others all year round. The person who introduced her to customers was Jin Chon. Jin Chon was the owner of a prostitution bar. Coincidentally, Taeho was also investigating Jin Chon. According to the information Taeho received, Jin Chon, Jang Won had a close relationship. Taeho handed the case over to Ah Ra for her to investigate thoroughly. That night, Ah Ra brought the prosecutors to Jin Chon's bar. The supervisor not far away immediately reported the situation to Do Won. However, Ah Ra was one step too late. Jin Chon's office had just gone through a fight. Smoke filled the room. The two people who started the fight were Eunji and Nam Do. They were both friends of Jin Jung. Eunji is a martial arts expert, and Nam Do is very good at computer software. The two were entrusted by Jin to investigate. They infiltrated Jin Chon's office. They copied all the documents on Jin Chon's computer. Then Jin Jung searched for content related to Ha Young. Sure enough, Jin Jung discovered a folder. It was marked as the day Ha Young died. Jin Jung immediately opened it to see. Jin Jung only saw a secret photo of Ha Young with a customer. The customer who was with her that day was Jang Won. Now Jin Jung understood why. Jang Won always urged them to quickly end the case. It turned out that Jang Won was an important person related to the case that night. Moreover, Jang Won was about to be appointed as the district prosecutor, so at this crucial moment, he could not cause any trouble. After that, Jin Jung went to find Jin Chon and told him all of his crimes. If Jin Jung brought out the evidence in his hand to accuse him, Jin Chon would have to spend at least 10 years in prison. But Jin Jung might not pursue these matters if Jin Chon clearly explained the relationship between Ha Young and Jang Won. Jin Jung also asked Jin Chon to write a report which recorded everything Jin Chon saw and heard on the night of the incident. But as soon as Jin Jung finished speaking, Du Hwan's subordinates led people to break into the civil service office. They issued an investigation order for Jin Jung. Taking this opportunity, Jin Chon immediately ran away. Jin Jung chased after Jin Chon. Jin Jung warned Jin Chon not to think that he could escape because Jin Jung would pursue whoever he targeted to the end. The next day, Ara reported to Taeho the results of the search of Jin Chon's office last night. Ara confirmed that Jin Chon indeed had a close relationship with Jang Won. Ara also revealed one more thing, which was that Jin Jung had captured Jin Chon last night. But Jin Chon was released by Do Hwan's men. Ara felt that Jin Jung's actions were not only aimed at Jin Chon. Jin Jung was definitely investigating Ha Young's case. At this moment, Jang Won suddenly rushed in. Jang Won didn't say anything but slapped Taeho. It turned out that Ara's investigation last night made Jang Won angry. Jang Won also said bluntly that once he became the district prosecutor, the first thing he would do was deal with Taeho. Ara felt angry because of Jang Won's arrogant behavior. She went to the interrogation room to meet Jin Jung. Jin Jung was being investigated here. Ara suggested that the two of them join forces to take down Jang Won. As long as Jin Jung agreed, Ara would immediately find a way to release Jin Jung. Jin Jung agreed immediately, but he made a request. Ara was not allowed to object to his way of solving the case. After the two agreed agreed to cooperate. Ah-ra told her colleague to pretend to have epilepsy. He attracted the attention of the interrogation room supervisors. At this time, Ah-ra took Jin Young out of the prosecutor's office. Tomorrow, Jang Won will take office as the district prosecutor. If Jang Won takes power, it will be even more difficult to deal with. Therefore, the prosecutor must capture Jin Chon. They must force Jin Chon to reveal Jang Won's secret. While Ah-ra was wondering where to find Jin Chon, Jin Jung had already arranged the arrest. Eunji and Nam Do followed Jin Chon to a hotel, but they discovered that Jin Chon had a strong anti-reconnaissance consciousness. By the time Jin Jung and Ah-ra arrived, Jin Chon had already escaped. However, Jin Jung still had a second plan. Last night, Jin Jung took the opportunity to install a GPS on Jin Chon. Based on the direction, it seemed that Jin Chon was heading to the pier. It is possible that Jin Chon wanted to escape abroad by ship. When Jin Jung and Ah-ra rushed to the dock, they found that it was empty. Jin Jung's location was discovered on a truck. Jin Jung had lost track of Jin Chon time and time again because he had a powerful opponent to help him. This person was Do Hwan. Jin Jung and Ah-ra returned to the dock. They wanted to review the important points that were missed. At this time, Ah-ra thought that if Jin Chon wanted to leave Korea, he absolutely did not need to sneak around because he was only discovered by Jin Jung to be involved in Ha-young's death, and he was not wanted. So if Jin Chon wanted to escape, he could completely leave here by plane. Jin Jung immediately told Nam Do to look for information about domestic airports. Finally, they confirmed Jin Chon's airport and flight time. However, they discovered this too late. When Jin Jung and his group arrived, the plane had already entered the runway. They couldn't stop the entire flight. Ah-ra felt very discouraged. It seemed that they had no way to stop Jin Chon from leaving, but Jin Jung immediately came up with a crazy idea. Although this idea was immoral and obstructed law and order, if this idea was implemented, they would definitely succeed. Jin Jung dialed the phone number in the airport lobby. He covered his nose and informed the receptionist that he had placed a bomb on the plane. Jin Chon was on. If the flight wasn't stopped, the airport would become a sea of blood. Immediately, the airport security department requested that all flights be stopped. At the same time, they informed the fire department to block off the scene. The airport instantly became chaotic. Jin Chon had no choice but to follow the fire department members down the plane, but he was still very vigilant. Jin Chon didn't leave with the other passengers. Instead, Jin Chon quietly left through the employee passage. However, this trick could not fool Jin Jung. He recognized the other party at a glance. Jin Chon was cornered. Jin Chon had no choice but to kidnap a little girl as a hostage. Seeing this, Jin Jung no longer needed to hold back. He swung his fist and knocked Jin Chon down. The two fought on the spot. In the end, Jin Chon was still subdued by Jin Jung. At this time, the fire department also found Jin Jung. They knew that Jin Jung was the one who made the threatening phone call. They considered Jin Jung a danger and took him away. But Jin Jung was not afraid. Anyway, they had captured Jin Chon. The next day was Jang Won's inauguration ceremony. After Jang Won knew that Jin Jung had caused a ruckus at the airport and that Jin Chon was missing, Jang Won felt a little uneasy. Jang Won ordered Do Hwan to definitely handle this mess. Who would have thought that while Jang Won was reading his inauguration speech, Jin Jung would come out from behind the podium? This impressive appearance made the reporters' flashbulbs flash continuously. Jin Jung announced in front of everyone that Jang Won was the prime suspect in the Ha-young murder case, so he needed to be arrested urgently. In order to prove Jang Won's guilt, Jin Jung prepared 10 of the most important witnesses. Do Hwan immediately told his subordinates to guard outside the hall. They blocked Ah-ra's car. Do Hwan suspected that the person sitting in the back seat of the car was Jin Chon. His subordinates quickly checked, but he discovered that the other party was not Jin Chon. At this moment, a curtain suddenly fell in the middle of the hall. Jin Chon's image suddenly appeared. Jin Chon made a video call to talk to Jin Jung. Jin Chon clearly explained the Ha-young murder case. Jin Chon confessed that Ha-young used to work as a prostitute in his bar. Moreover, Ha-young was also supported by Jang Won. When Ji Chon said this, Jin Jung cut off the communication. This left the reporters with endless thoughts. This inauguration farce quickly spread online. A large number of reporters were stationed outside the venue to report the news. Jang Won had to contact the media he knew. Jang Won hoped someone could help him, but the current situation was not favorable for Jang Won because no reporter wanted to interfere in this case. Jang Won was very angry with Do Hwan. Jang Won ordered Do Hwan to find a way to solve this problem. Do Hwan had to go to Jin Jung because last night Jin Jung not only violated aviation laws but also escaped from police custody. Do Hwan wanted to use Jin Jung's sentence to make a deal. If Jin Jung did not let Jang Won go, Do Hwan would put Jin Jung in jail. At this time, Ah-ra appeared. She left a part of the document to release Jin Jung, and then she boldly took Jin Jung away. After that, Jin Jung Jung knew that Taeho had helped her. Since Taeho had taken this step, it was considered that he had officially declared war on Jang-won. In such a difficult situation, Do-hwan's position became even more ambiguous. Do-hwan was now on Jang-won's side, so when Jang-won was in danger, Do-hwan had to do his best to rescue her. Soon after, Do-hwan's subordinates reported that they had discovered where Jin-chon was being held. Do-hwan saw hope. Do-hwan immediately led people to kidnap Jin-chon. On this side, Jin-jung and Ah-ra knew the news and immediately ran away. However, it was too late. Jin-chon had been taken away by Do-hwan. The purpose of this was to clarify to the media that what Jin-chon said at the inauguration ceremony was all a fake confession. Jin-chon was forced and seduced by Jin-jung. This helped Jang-won successfully turn the braid situation around. The pressure was on Jin-jung again. The prosecutors were ready to start prosecuting Jin-jung. Taeho felt uneasy when he saw the news. After Jang-won's crisis was resolved, Do-hwan also knew of Jang-won's criminal evidence. Do-hwan wanted to leave a life-saving talisman for himself. At night, Jin-jung took Ah-ra to Eunji and Namdo's secret base. They now had only one chance to turn the situation around, which was to steal the USB containing all the evidence in Jang-won's hands, and so an infiltration campaign began. Namdo used a virus to infiltrate Jang-won's computer. Namdo took the opportunity to kill the virus to enter Jang-won's office. Namdo waited for Eunji to climb down from the roof. When Namdo saw her outside the window, Namdo deliberately poured coffee on Jang-won. Namdo then stole Jang-won's office access card. Namdo then installed a decoder on the safe. However, at this moment, Eunji accidentally dropped the pepper spray in her hand into the room. The smoke from the pepper spray spread quickly. The prosecutor's office immediately rang the alarm. At this time, Jin-jung brought a gas mask. He took the opportunity to go to Jang-won's office. When Jang-won came out of the bathroom, he felt something was wrong. So he immediately returned to the office. But Jang-won couldn't find the access card. While Jang-won called someone to open the door, Jin-jung successfully took the USB. Jin-jung escaped smoothly through the rope. Eunji left outside the window. When Jang-won discovered that his safe had been opened, he immediately knew who had done it. And of course, that person was Jin-jung. The next day, Jang-won asked Jin-jung to come to the office. Just as Jang-won was about to open his mouth to threaten Jin-jung, the TV broadcasted new news about the exposed USB evidence. Jin-jung didn't hold back any information at all. Jin-jung used the fastest speed to once again accuse Jang-won. But at this time, Jang-won informed Jin-jung that although Jang-won met Ha-young that day, he didn't kill her. This was also confirmed by Jin-chon's mouth, because when Jin-cheon took the secret photos, he also took other interesting photos. That was enough to prove that the culprit was not Jang-won. Jin-cheon also handed over all the photos he took to Do-hwan. After Jin-jung verified Jang-won's alibi, he immediately called Jang-won back. Jin-jung asked who the real culprit was. Jang-won had designated a location for Jin-jung to meet him there. But when Jin-jung ran over, he saw Jang-won fall from a high place and die on the spot. Time goes back to before Jin-jung arrived. Jang-won was cleaning up the building when he was suddenly attacked by someone else. This person injected anesthetic into Jang-won. After Jin-jung arrived, the murderer immediately killed the comatose Jang-won. The police quickly began investigating. After a preliminary conclusion, the police determined that Jang-won's death was due to suicide, but Jin-jung did not believe it. Jin-jung told Ah-ra yesterday that he had investigated and found that the murderer who killed Ha-young was not Jang-won because he had enough alibi. Moreover, that night, Jang-won himself took the initiative to meet Jin-jung. It seemed like he wanted to tell Jin-jung something. In addition, Jin-jung also investigated Jang-won's recent whereabouts. Jang-won was choosing a birthday present for his niece. How could such a person end his own life? Jin-jung ignored Ah-ra's advice and was determined to find evidence to prove that Jang-won was murdered. When Ah-ra saw Jin-jung's impulsiveness, she felt extremely helpless. Actually, Ah-ra did not support Jin-jung. She was just afraid that he would use illegal means again. After Jin-jung left, Taeho came to find Ah-ra to ask about the investigation. Ah-ra shared that she had the same thoughts as Jin-jung. They felt that Jang-won's death was very strange. Ah-ra was a prosecutor, so she did not want to leave any doubts. Therefore, Ah-ra suggested a thorough investigation of Jang-won's case. Taeho immediately agreed to this. Meanwhile, Jin-jung was busy with the case, so he did not appear at the civil service office all day. Chief Park did not like to cause trouble, so he was not satisfied with Jin-jung's actions. Jin-jung went to the large building where Jang-won passed away. He wanted to investigate the surveillance camera. As a result, he did not detect anything. However, at the crucial moment, Jin-jung discovered that the camera had been changed in direction. This created a blind spot, just enough for someone to easily pass by. When Jin-jung reasoned in this direction, he noticed a suspicious figure. In addition, Namdo provided Jin-jung with detailed records of Jang-won's calls. One of the calls that caught his attention was from Su Bin, Ha-young's sister. The call log showed that a few days before Jang Won's death, he contacted Ha-young. Later, Jin Jung met Su Bin to ask about the details of their meeting. Su Bin said that when Jang Won met her, he had asked to see the cat that Ha-young raised. Su Bin also showed Jin Jung some pictures of the cat. He noticed that there was a megapixel 3 camera next to the cat, but that camera was taken away by Jang Won. Jang Won seemed to be very interested in this. As Jin Jung continued to search for the whereabouts of megapixel 3, the National Forensic Institute conducted an autopsy on Jang Won. However, the results surprised everyone. The forensic doctor gave many unconvincing reasons to explain the injuries on Jang Won's body. He deliberately concluded that Jang Won had ended his own life. Jin Jung and Ah-ra were not convinced, but they could not say anything more. Once the report was published, the case would also end. Jang Won's death would forever remain a mystery. Jin Jung never wanted to leave behind this regret. As soon as the investigation reached a dead end, Chief Park, who had always been indifferent to the case, took the initiative to provide clues. Mr. Park deliberately let Jin Jung see an old newspaper. There happened to be an article about a fake autopsy, and the person involved in the article was forensic Dr. Baek. Jin Jung immediately submitted a request for a second autopsy. With the help of Ah-ra and other seniors, Jin Jung's request was approved. Jin Jung also went to the funeral home to persuade Jang Won's daughter. Finally, with the cooperation of both sides, Jin Jung once again conducted an autopsy. Suddenly, Jang Won's daughter remembered something. She told Jin Jung that on the day Jang Won died, he took out a yellow envelope. Jang Won said he would give it to someone else. Jin Jung felt that this was an important clue. After Jang Won's death, the position of district prosecutor was vacant. Many people speculated that the person taking on this position would be Tae-ho. At this time, Do-won had lost his support, so he reluctantly knelt down in front of Tae-ho to apologize. As long as Tae-ho didn't abandon him, he was willing to do anything. However, Tae-ho didn't care about Do-won. At night, Chief Park was full of worries. It turned out that the yellow envelope that Jang Won was carrying was in his hand. Before Jang Won died, he gave megapixel 3 to Chief Park. Jang Won wanted Mr. Park to decode the content inside. Meanwhile, Tae-ho was drinking with Representative Seo. Mr. Seo was in control of the prosecutor's office. There were quite a few high-ranking officials who were being held by him for their weaknesses. Representative Seo congratulated Tae-ho on his successful appointment as chief prosecutor, but Representative Seo was curious about Jang Won's death. Hearing this, Tae-ho hesitated a bit. Tae-ho could not guess what Representative Seo meant for a moment. The next day, the second autopsy report was released. The results confirmed that this was indeed a murder case. Just as Jin Jung was about to make his next move, Do-won suddenly brought people in. Do-won announced that Jin Jung was the suspect in Jang Won's murder, so Jin Jung was arrested urgently. When Jin Jung sat in the interrogation room, faced with Do-won's fake evidence, he showed no fear. He realized that someone was plotting to frame him. Whoever this person was, Jin Jung would find him himself. Ah-ra heard the news and immediately came to the interrogation room. The two analyzed the current situation. Although Do-won was very confident, he had no solid evidence. Jin Jung thought for a moment. He felt that since this was so noisy, Do-won could not be the one who caused it. Maybe there was someone behind Do-won's orders. Jin Jung wondered whether he should suspect Tae-ho, who had just taken office today. Hearing this, Ah-ra immediately corrected that Tae-ho had helped Jin Jung a lot. However, after she said it, she also felt a lack of confidence. However, Ah-ra made a wrong judgment because the evidence accusing Jin Jung was given to Do-hwan by Tae-ho. Before that, Do-hwan had said he would be loyal to him, so capturing Jin Jung was a test. In the interrogation room, Jin Jung thanked Ah-ra for her concern. After that, Jin Jung told Chun-ki to buy him a bowl of beef bone soup. The two tested, putting the lock in the bowl of soup, and they would not be detected. Just like that, Jin Jung easily unlocked the handcuffs and escaped from the interrogation room. However, before Jin Jung escaped from the prosecutor's office, he sneaked into Do-won's office. Jin Jung took away the investigative documents accusing him. Jin Jung's escape caused chaos in the prosecutor's office. Do-won immediately arrested Chun-ki. Sure enough, just a moment later, Jin Jung called Chun-ki, but Chun-ki was devoted to Jin Jung. When Do-hwan was not paying attention, Chun-ki shouted that he was being controlled. Jin Jung immediately realized the situation. After Jin Jung hung up, he threw the phone back and left. Ah-ra was also looking for Jin Jung. She also thought of Eun-ji and Nam-do. Immediately, Ah-ra ordered her subordinates to force the two to go to the prosecutor's office. Ah-ra informed them that Jin Jung was under suspicion. The two were very nervous after hearing this, but unfortunately, Jin Jung did not contact them. Then a colleague told Ah-ra that Jin Jung appeared tonight and kidnapped Do-hwan. Jin Jung sat in the back seat of the car and strangled Do-hwan. Jin Jung forced him to say who was the one who ordered him. Do-hwan pressed the gas pedal hard. The car sped down down the road. Finally, it crashed into an obstacle, causing an accident. The entire car overturned. Jin Jung staggered out of the back seat and left the scene. Meanwhile, Chief Park was walking his dog. He saw that Jin Jung was injured, so he took Jin Jung home for dinner. Jin Jung saw Chief Park's family photo and asked where his wife and children were. Chief Park only answered vaguely. Then he said that he would only let Jin Jung stay for one night. Jin Jung should leave tomorrow. At night, Jin Jung went to a public phone booth to report his safety to Ara. She was very worried about Jin Jung. She told Jin Jung absolutely not to get caught. After hanging up, Jin Jung continued to return to Chief Park's house. Jin Jung was reviewing the investigation documents on Jang Won's death. At this time, Jin Jung discovered a suspicious point. When Chief Park saw Jin Jung's suspicious expression, Chief Park wanted to help him take a look. It turned out that Jang Won's autopsy results showed that he had a needle wound on his neck, but the chemical composition in the body is not an anesthetic but a stimulant. This substance has the ability to create hallucinations for the victim. Jin Jung wondered why the killer chose this drug to control Jang Won. Chief Park suggested that perhaps this drug was used to force Jang Won to tell the truth. The killer wanted to ask something from Jang Won. Chief Park only suggested this much. The rest was for Jin Jung to realize on his own. Jin Jung thought for a moment. An idea suddenly popped into his head. Jin Jung immediately went to find Jin Chon. Jin Jung asked him to help find out about the stimulant drug manufacturer. Under Jin Jung's coercion and enticement, Jin Chon provided information about the seller and his physical characteristics. Before leaving, Jin Jung also took Jin Chon's phone. Jin Jung used the phone to inform Eun-ji and Nam-do. Then Jin Jung contacted Chun-ki. The four of them arranged to meet at a bar. After entering, they split up to act. Jin Jung quickly found the seller on the second floor. However, the bar was suddenly raided by the police. In the chaos, the seller took the opportunity to escape. Jin Jung immediately drove his motorbike to chase after him. The seller hurriedly returned to the secret base. Then he took out a ledger. When leaving, the seller was ambushed by Jin Jung. In the end, he took the ledger away. The next day, Jin Jung quietly contacted Ara. Jin Jung told her to meet in a secret place. Unexpectedly, Ara's actions were being monitored by Do Hwan. Jin Jung gave the ledger to Ara for her to investigate. Jin Jung wanted information about 5 people who had recently bought drugs. The killer of Jang Won was among them. As Jin Jung finished speaking, Do Hwan led a group of thugs to rush in. Jin Jung successfully escaped into another abandoned factory, but Jin Jung was attacked by a mysterious person. Jin Jung was stabbed and fell to the ground. A few seconds before falling into a coma, Jin Jung saw the opponent's gloves. They were very similar to the gloves of the person who killed Jang Won. Then Jin Jung fell to the ground unconscious. Fortunately, Ah-ra discovered Jin Jung first and took Jin Jung away. Because Jin Jung's injury was so severe, Ah-ra wanted to take Jin Jung to the hospital, but Jin Jung firmly refused. In the end, Ah-ra had to take Jin Jung to the house of Section Chief Park. Section Chief Park could not watch him die without saving him. Mr. Park immediately called a familiar doctor to treat him at home. After being treated, Jin Jung was temporarily fine. Ah-ra stayed at Section Chief Park's house to take care of Jin Jung for a night. The next morning, Jin Jung also had a slight reaction, as if Jin Jung was immersed in a dream. Jin Jung's hand seemed to want to grab something. It turned out that Jin Jung dreamed of his father dying in a car accident. After Jin Jung woke up, his 3 colleagues also came running. Jin Jung said that the person who attacked him was the murderer who killed Jang Won. Jin Jung deduced that he must have discovered something important about the murderer, so he wanted to eliminate Jin Jung. However, at the moment, Jin Jung did not know what that important clue was. Jin Jung told his colleagues that the next battle of revenge was about to begin. Jin Jung thought that Do Hwan would definitely meet the mastermind, so Jin Jung asked his colleagues to investigate his dashcam. At the same time, Ah-ra also found the people who bought the drugs. One of them was Hyun Guk. He was the head secretary of a famous law firm. Hyun Guk was a person with no criminal record. Moreover, the date of purchase was the day before Jang Won died, and this law firm was the company of Representative Seo. Ah-ra immediately went to that law firm. The person who received her was Seo Ji-han, the son of Representative Seo. Ah-ra asked to meet Secretary Tae, but this request was rejected by Ji-han. After Ah-ra left, he immediately informed Representative Seo. Representative Seo laughed coldly, then ordered his subordinates to start dealing with Ah-ra. Ah-ra told Jin Jung about Secretary Tae's information. She said that this was the most suspicious person. While Jin Jung and everyone thought that the revenge war could go smoothly, Tae-ho caused trouble. Tae-ho received a signal from Representative Seo, so he publicly believed that Jin Jung was a wanted criminal. Jin Jung's image was broadcast on TV. Seeing this, Ah-ra went to find Tae-ho to protest, but she was loudly scolded by Tae-ho. Meanwhile, Chun-ki obtained Do Hwan's travel records. Afterwards, Chun-ki sent all the places Do Hwan had been to Jin Jin-jung. Jin-jung circled each location on the map. Suddenly, Jin-jung discovered a place far away from the other locations, which was a pub. In-ji and Nam-dong immediately disguised themselves as criminal police. They wanted to investigate the surveillance camera there. Then they sent the footage to Jin-jung. Jin-jung enlarged the screen to see. Although Jin-jung only saw the head of the mastermind behind it, it was not difficult to recognize that he was Tae-ho. After finding out the truth, Jin-jung began to rearrange the clues. From the Hayoung case that suddenly fell into his hands, to the investigation of John 1, it turned out that it was all Tae-ho's plan. Tae-ho had arranged everything, just waiting for Jin-jung to fall into the trap. Tae-ho has always been a hypocrite. Tae-ho pretended to help Jin-jung and Ara, but Tae-ho led them into his trap. Perhaps to break all of this, Jin-jung first needs to capture Do-hwan. Jin-jung decides to act on her own. That night, Jin-jung sneaks into Do-hwan's house. Jin-jung uses the decryption tool that Nam-do gave her. Jin-jung then opens Do-hwan's computer. Jin-jung discovers the conversation between Nam-do and Tae-ho. Jin-jung just finished watching when Do-hwan suddenly enters the house. Jin-jung has to hide under the bed to find a chance to escape. That night, Jin-jung and Ara meet. Jin-jung gives her the chat history of Tae-ho and Do-hwan. Jin-jung needs Ara's help, even though it is very difficult for her. Tae-ho has always been the person Ara respects the most. She thinks for a moment and then agrees to help Jin-jung. Ara calls Tae-ho right away, pretending to apologize for helping Jin-jung earlier. When Ara stands in front of Tae-ho, she asks Jin-jung to meet so that Tae-ho can capture Jin-jung. However, Tae-ho did not trust Ara. Tae-ho guessed that her sudden change in attitude was probably because she wanted to get a confession from him. So, Tae-ho confiscated Ara's recorder and phone. At this point, Ara stopped pretending. She directly questioned Tae-ho whether he had harmed Jin-jung or not. Tae-ho explained and accidentally revealed that he was just carrying out someone else's orders. Ara was very disappointed with him and left in anger. After Ara left, Jin-jung quietly came to Tae-ho. From behind Ara's phone, Jin-jung took out a magnetic disc. It turned out that this was also a recording device. This time, Jin-jung had evidence that Tae-ho had harmed her. Tae-ho looked at Jin-jung, who had obtained the recording, and sneered. Tae-ho told Jin-jung that it was illegal for a third party to record a private conversation. However, Jin-jung was a prosecutor, so of course he understood this. However, he had another plan. Soon after, this recording appeared on the prosecutor's office's intranet. Jin-jung threatened Tae-ho that he must immediately clear all suspicions about Jin-jung. At the same time, Tae-ho had to reinstate Ji-jung to the prosecutor's office. Otherwise, Ji-jung would make the full recording public. Although this recording could not completely defeat Tae-ho, it could at least create a storm. Jin-jung's move was indeed effective. The next day, Ji-jung returned to the prosecutor's office. When Ji-ha received this news, he immediately informed Representative Seo. Representative Seo frowned and looked for Tae-ho to ask for his crime. Tae-ho was scolded and had to vent his anger on Do-hwan. However, Do-hwan also had his own calculations in mind. After Do-hwan left the office, he glared back in Tae-ho's direction. Although Jin-jung returned to the prosecutor's office, he still did not give up on bringing Tae-ho to justice. At this time, Jin-jung and Ara continued to follow forensic Dr. Baek, who had forged the autopsy report. The two pretended to be gamblers and went to the underground casino that forensic Dr. Baek often went to. Very quickly, forensic Dr. Baek appeared there. Jin-jung immediately jumped in and arrested him. In the interrogation room, Jin-jung asked forensic Dr. Baek if Tae-ho had ordered him to forge the autopsy report. However, Baek was extremely confused. Jin-jung made a proposal that if Baek confessed and revealed the mastermind behind it, Jin-jung would help him reduce his sentence. Or, Jin-jung could ask for a settlement. Forensic Dr. Baek hesitated for a moment, then he suddenly changed his attitude. He took all the responsibility for himself. At this time, Tae-ho also brought Do-hwan. Baek was handed over to Do-hwan to take responsibility. Baek was not allowed to contact Jin-jung anymore. It was clear that Tae-ho was afraid that forensic Prof. Baek would reveal something. Jin-jung saw through Tae-ho's trick, but because of Tae-ho's power, Jin-jung could not object. Although forensic Baek was taken away, Jin-jung did not give up the opportunity. Jin-jung caught up with the escort car and reminded forensic Baek that Baek had now become a danger to Tae-ho, so Tae-ho would not spare Baek's life. These words made forensic Baek look scared. Everyone knows that death is the best way to silence him. Immediately after, the escort car was suddenly stopped by a large car. In the car, there were some masked people who wanted to take forensic Baek away. Fortunately, Jin-jung ran over in time, chased them away, and put forensic Baek in his car. Under Jin-jung's pressure, forensic Dr. Baek said that even if he was beaten to death, he wouldn't dare confess, because before Ara and Jin-jung found forensic Dr. Baek, Do-hwan had used his wife and children to threaten him. Forensic Dr. Baek didn't want to involve his family, so he had to keep quiet. On this side, because Jin-jung made things difficult for him, Tae-ho is currently in trouble. Taiho had no choice but to ask for help from Representative Seo. Representative Seo was also not very satisfied with Taiho, but Taiho was still useful to Representative Seo, so he kept Taiho. After Representative Seo finished speaking, he inquired about Ara's parents' occupations. After Taiho left Representative Seo's place, he went to find Jin Jung, but Jin Jung felt that something was wrong. It seemed that Taiho was trying to stall for time. When Jin Jung was about to get up and leave, he immediately received a call from Ara. She said she was taking Forensic Baek to her parents' house in the countryside. Here she filmed Forensic Baek confessing. Suddenly, a car stopped outside the house. A group of thugs started banging on the gate. Ara and Forensic Baek hurriedly escaped through the back door, but they still couldn't escape the pursuit of Taiho's men. In the end, Ara was able to escape thanks to her fighting skills, but Forensic Baek fell into their hands. At the restaurant, Taiho submitted a resignation letter and forced Jin Jung to write it. As long as Jin Jung was willing to retreat, Taiho would let Ara and Forensic Baek go. While Jin Jung was holding the pen and hesitating, Ara ran away and found Chun Ki. She used Chun Ki's phone to call Jin Jung. When she heard that Ara wasn't arrested, Jin Jung immediately threw away her resignation letter and left. Jin Jung's battle was not over yet. Taiho left the restaurant dejectedly. Taiho coincidentally met Chief Park in the garage. Chief Park warned Taiho not to touch Jin Jung again, but Taiho despised him. To Taiho, Chief Park was just a loser. It turned out that before, it was Chief Park who tried to expose Representative Seo's crimes. As a result, Chief Park not only ruined his career, but he also lost his wife and children. On this side, Jin Jung and Ara met. Everyone set out again to save Forensic Dr. Baek. At this time, Forensic Dr. Baek was being injected with drugs by a mysterious person. They planned to fake a car accident scene. However, before this plan could be successfully carried out, Jin Jung's group arrived. They quickly chased away the thugs to save Forensic Dr. Baek's life. After Chief Park was humiliated by Taiho, he returned home and took out the envelope that Jang Won had given him. According to Jang Won, if Chief Park wanted revenge on Representative Seo, what was in the envelope was the best weapon. The next day, Taiho was about to go out when Jin Jung stopped him. Jin Jung brought Forensic Dr. Baek here. Taiho was arrested on various charges and was taken to the interrogation room. Here, Jin Jung asked, why did Taiho abandon the principles of a prosecutor and commit a crime? Taiho only replied that this was the real way to survive. Prosecutors are just servants of their masters. Taiho needs power that no one dares to touch. However, Jin Jung did not think so. Jin Jung believed that as long as the corrupt people were eradicated, the remaining people would definitely be true prosecutors. Because Do Hwan was involved in Taiho's case, he was severely affected. All the data in Do Hwan's office was taken away. In his despair, he saw Representative Seo's business card. When Do Hwan sent someone to follow Taiho, Representative Seo discovered it. Mr. Seo gave Do Hwan his business card. It seems that Representative Seo intends to recruit him to replace Taiho. On this side, Jin Jung continued to investigate Jang Won's death. They go to the law firm again to find Secretary Tae. The person who receives them is still Ji-han. After Ji-han hears that Secretary Tae is suspected of murder while buying drugs, he immediately shows an exaggerated expression. Han said that he will conduct an internal investigation. If the truth is as Jin Jung and Ah-ra said, Ji-han will definitely hand over Secretary Tae. However, Jin Jung told Ji-han to stop acting because it looks disgusting. If Ji-han does not hand over Secretary Tae, it means that the purchase of contraband is also closely related to this company. Ji-han quickly retracts his smiling face. Then he does as Jin Jung says. Ji-han tells Secretary Tae to meet him. Secretary Tae often goes with Representative Seo, so she is also a deep and unpredictable character. Jin Jung began to interrogate her. He asked her where she was on the day Jang Won died. Secretary Tae calmly answered. At the same time, she said she would provide a video to prove her alibi. When Secretary Tae stood up to leave, Jin Jung took a pen and stabbed it straight into her eyes. The strange thing was that Secretary Tae did not blink and she did not show any signs of fear. That is why Jin Jung judged that Secretary Tae must be a well-trained expert. Jin Jung told his colleagues to immediately investigate all information about her. This time, after Jin Jung returned to the prosecutor's office, he took Eun-ji and Nam-do to the civil service office. On this side, Do Hwan went to meet Representative Seo. The person who welcomed Do Hwan was still Ji-han. When Ji-han knew that Do Hwan intended to join the law firm, Ji-han just smiled. But Ji-han needs to see if Do Hwan has any value, Ji-han said disdainfully while playing with the toy in his hand. This image reminded Do Hwan of something. Do Hwan immediately returned to the prosecutor's office. Do Hwan reviewed the images that Jin Jung had delivered earlier. The murderer who killed Ha-young was also playing with the same thing. Jin Jung received the alibi that Secretary Tae sent. The video showed that on the night Jang Won Jin died. She was always jogging in the gym, but Ara discovered a blind spot, which was the clock mirror on the screen. Normally, the mirror at the 11 o'clock position would not have such a ratio. This discovery made Jin Jung very satisfied. Jin Jung immediately asked Eunji and Namdo to go to the gym to find clues. Eunji also called her subordinates. They tied up the gym owner. They used gangster methods to interrogate. The frightened boss quickly admitted that Secretary Tae was not at the gym at 11 o'clock. On the other hand, Chun-ki found the car that Secretary Tae drove. The car was abandoned in a corner of the city. Jin Jung and Ah-ra went there and broke the car window. They found a pair of shoes inside. They found a blood stain on the sole of the shoe. Jin Jung remembered when he was attacked in the abandoned factory. That mysterious person stepped on his blood, so Jin Jung immediately took his shoes and blood for testing. Today, Seo's agent received a letter. The sender was Do Hwan. Seo agent opened the letter to see the content inside. It was a photo of Ji Han in front of Ha Young's house. The photo was cut from a dash cam. Seo agent smiled coldly. He did not expect a small prosecutor to dare to threaten him. That evening in the civil service office, Jin Jung received the test results. The blood on the shoes was his. Jin Jung immediately searched for the wooden sword. He brought the weapon to arrest Secretary Tae. But Chun-ki told Jin Jung that the wooden sword was borrowed by Chief Park to beat the bed sheets. Jin Jung searched everywhere. He accidentally discovered Chief Park's yellow envelope. That was the megapixel 3 that Jang Won had taken from Ha Young's house before. Jin Jung immediately questioned Chief Park. Jin Jung wanted to know what happened, but Mr. Park just wanted Jin Jung to stay out of it. Chief Park also said bluntly that he and the boss behind it had a big feud. He wanted to take action himself to avenge his wife and children, but hiding was not Jin Jung's character. So when Chief Park returned to the civil service office, he discovered that the megapixel 3 had been taken. Jin Jung was using this machine to ask Secretary Tae out. Secretary Tae immediately reported to Representative Seo. Then Secretary Tae went to the place where Jang Won died to meet Jin Jung. Sure enough, it was Secretary Tae who killed Jang Won here. As soon as the two met, they immediately started a fierce fight. They chased each other from inside the house to the rooftop, but Jin Jung was not careful and was stabbed by Secretary Tae. After that, Jin Jung began to lose consciousness. Secretary Tae saw this and immediately tried to kill Jin Jung. But Jin Jung's will was extremely tenacious. He completed the counterattack with the last of his strength. Jin Jung strangled Secretary Tae's neck until she fainted. Then he called Cho Chun-ki. Right after he finished speaking, Jin Jung also fainted. Secretary Tae was taken to the prosecutor's office. Here she was interrogated by Jin Jung. However, Secretary Tae refused to say anything. Not long after, Do Hwan appeared and announced that he was now Representative Seo's lawyer. He was assigned to protect Secretary Tae. It turned out that last night, Do Hwan brought the dash cam memory card to meet with Representative Seo. Do Hwan's two superiors were investigated one after another. Do Hwan now had no support, so he begged Representative Seo to keep him. In the end, Representative Seo took Do Hwan in, but not because of that memory card. Representative Seo quickly realized that this was not the original memory card. However, in the face of Do Hwan's determination and courage, Representative Seo still accepted. Secretary Tae asked to speak directly with Representative Seo, but Do Hwan refused. It seemed that Representative Seo wanted to get rid of Secretary Tae. Today, Director Park came to the cemetery with a bouquet of flowers. The person he visited was Jin Jung's biological father. The two seemed to have a very good relationship. At the funeral that year, Director Park saw Jin Jung for the first time when he was a child. Unexpectedly, many years later, Director Park worked with him again. On this side, Jin Jung and the others tried to open the megapixel 3, but they found that all the files inside were set up with a protection system. The investigation into megapixel 3 could only stop here. Jin Jung had to bring the matter back to the original point, which was the murder of Ha Young. Perhaps this case would find the culprit, and the secret of megapixel 3 would also be solved. Ah-ra began to research Ha Young's social media accounts. She accidentally discovered that in addition to Jang Won, Ha Young seemed to love another man. Ah-ra immediately went to Ha Young's good friend to ask. The other party confirmed that Ha Young indeed had another man, but that person's identity was extremely secret. Jin Jung immediately thought of Jin Chan. Since Jin Chan was Ha Young's manager, he might know something. However, Jin Jung was one step too late. Jin Chan's company had been inspected. Chun-ki also received news that Jin Chan was arrested on suspicion of counterfeiting alcohol. However, Jin Chan is currently on the run. Jin Jung picked up a piece of paper with the address. Eunji looked at it and knew it was a smuggling company. It seemed that Jin Chan was about to leave Korea. Jin Jung took Chun-ki to the smuggling company. He hit the boss a few times and made him submit. Only then did Jin Jung know that Jin Chan did not escape abroad because he did not have enough money. So Jin Chan was taken to the countryside by his boss. When Jin Jung arrived, he saw Jin Chon working hard in the salt fields. Jin Chon was also abused by the manager all day. When Jin Chon saw Jin Jung's figure, he felt like he saw a relative, but Jin Jung did not consider Jin Chon as a relative. Instead, Jin Jung locked Jin Chon in a pile of salt. Jin Jung forced Jin Chon to ask about Ha Young's other boyfriend, but Jin Chon didn't know who that person was. He only said that when Ha Young approached Jang Won, Jin Chon wasn't the one who introduced her. But one time, Jin Chon accidentally heard Ha Young talking to someone else. She seemed to have received orders from that person to approach Jang Won. When Jin Chon talked about this, he also admitted about the dashcam. That day, when Jin Chon went to secretly take pictures of Ha Young and Jang Won, he accidentally saw a third person also go to Ha Young's house. He gave that memory card to Do Won. After Ah-ra returned to the prosecutor's office, she began to investigate Hyo Jun. Although Ah-ra knew that Hyo Jun was the one who took the blame, she still didn't understand why he had to do that. After that, Ah-ra and Jin Jung went to Hyo Jun's house and broke the door. Jin Jung cleverly discovered that there was an area on the roof covered with paper. When Jin Jung tore the paper off, a large amount of money fell from it. Jin Jung immediately went to see Hyo Jun. Jin Jung showed Hyo Jun a picture of his money. Hyo Jun was immediately agitated. He told Jin Jung not to touch the money, but Jin Jung didn't care. Jin Jung immediately called Cho Chun Ki and asked him to light it on fire. If Hyo Jun didn't say who he would take the blame for, Jin Jung would burn all the money. Under Jin Jung's threat, Hyo Jun finally told the truth. That day, when Hyo Jun went to Ha Young's house to deliver the goods, he accidentally saw her being murdered. Hyo Jun was so scared that he left the package and ran away. When he got home, he was about to call the police, but Secretary Tae knocked on the door. Then, she gave the phone to Hyo Jun. On the other end of the line was a man's voice. This person offered Hyo Jun to take the blame for him. The condition was that he would give Hyo Jun a lot of money. That person also promised to help Hyo Jun get out of prison as soon as possible. So, Hyo Jun returned to Ha Young's house so that the people at the scene could turn him into a killer. But even so, Hyo Jun still didn't know who was calling him. Jin Jung left the detention center after hearing this. Representative Seo's men immediately reported this to him. Representative Seo was angry and slapped Ji-han a few times. Mr. Seo hated his son who always caused him trouble. In the evening, Jin Jung went to Chief Park's house to return the Megapixel 3. Jin Jung knew he couldn't crack the code, so he wanted to join forces with Chief Park. After speaking, Jin Jung took out a game card which talked about justice warriors. It turned out that Jin Jung had already realized that Chief Park was the prosecutor who appeared at his father's funeral. When Jin Jung was young, he admired Mr. Park. Jin Jung even dreamed of becoming a prosecutor in the future. When Jin Jung told this old story, Chief Park smiled with satisfaction. At the same time, Jin Jung also mentioned the grudge between Mr. Park and Representative Seo. Jin Jung hoped that Chief Park could share what he knew. Chief Park took out a glass of wine and poured it for Jin Jung. Then, he began to talk about the past. At that time, Chief Park was also a passionate prosecutor. In a certain case, Representative Seo's client was clearly a scapegoat. Chief Park realized this, but Mr. Park had no evidence. Therefore, Mr. Park began to secretly investigate Representative Seo's company. Chief Park discovered many problems. Representative Seo used the law to perfectly change black to white. Many authorities in Korea wanted to make friends with Representative Seo. They hoped that Representative Seo could help in the future. After Chief Park collected evidence to incriminate Representative Seo, he immediately handed it over to Jang Won. But Jang Won only hesitated. Jang Won knew clearly that he did not have the ability to fight against Representative Seo, but Chief Park is very stubborn. He will not stop until he achieves his goal. Jang Won had to warn Mr. Park that if Chief Park acts rashly, he will be transferred to the civil service office. Chief Park knows that doing so is ruining his future, but he does not back down. Before Chief Park is transferred, he must personally capture Representative Seo. Chief Park is determined to go his own way. The only person Chief Park trusts is Taeho. One day, Taeho accidentally hears Chief Park receive a phone call from Jin Jong's father. The other party seems to have strong evidence. Chief Park rushes to see Jin Jong's father, but he is one step too late. Jin Jong's father had an accident. Chief Park originally thought that the evidence was lost, but unexpectedly, Jang Won returned the evidence to Mr. Park before he died. While Chief Park and Jin Jong were talking, the doorbell suddenly rang. The person who came was Representative Seo. He calmly greeted the two. Then he asked Jin Jong to return the Megapixel 3. When Representative Seo was rejected, he reminded Jin Jong to be careful about his mother's safety. Jin Jong immediately reacted. He realized that Representative Seo wanted to attack his mother. So, Jin Jong hurried to his mother's small shop. At that moment, a large truck was about to hit her. This scene reminded him of Jin Jong's father's death in the past. Jin Jong knew that this was a warning from Representative Seo, but he was not afraid. but he felt full of fighting spirit. Jin Jung wanted to let Representative Seo know that he had messed with the wrong person. After Do Hwan came to work at the law firm, he showed his ability at every meeting. This made Jihan very unhappy. Today after work, Jihan and Do Hwan met at the garage. Jihan not only humiliated the lowly Do Hwan family, but he also took the initiative to beat Do Hwan. At this time, Jin Jung appeared to stop Jihan, then he rescued Do Hwan. After that, Jin Jung asked Do Hwan to hand over the dash cam memory card. Unexpectedly, Do Hwan agreed to hand it over. Because some disrespectful people had trampled on Do Hwan's limits, Jin Jung returned to watch the video. He noticed the spinning top toy. Jin Jung consulted Ha Young's autopsy records. She was hit in the head many times with a sharp object. Perhaps that thing was this spinning top, but since the tool was on her finger, if the murderer used force to beat Ha Young to death, his hand would definitely be injured. Jin Jung took Nam Do and Eunji to the hospitals near Ha Young's house. They investigated the patients admitted that night. Sure enough, they discovered Jihan's figure. Jin Jung immediately filed an application for an arrest warrant for Jihan, but Jin Jung was stopped by Representative Seo's men. But Representative Seo couldn't be complacent for long because Taiho was still behind him. Taiho finally agreed to help Chief Park. They took advantage of the weakness to have the new district prosecutor sign the arrest warrant. However, the important Megapixel 3 had not been decoded yet. Chief Park could only wait for an opportunity. Meanwhile, Taiho seemed to have other ideas. Taiho had something more powerful than Megapixel 3 in his hands. Once the arrest warrant was issued, Jin Jung and Ah Ra went to arrest Jihan and brought him to the prosecutor's office. But Jihan was sure that Representative Seo would save him, so Jihan refused to reveal anything. Jin Jung wanted to arrest Representative Seo at the same time, so he tried to crack the Megapixel 3 password. After 2 unsuccessful attempts, Jin Jung remembered when he was a child. At that time, his father secretly bought a motorbike that he had longed for. He also wanted Jin Jung to remember this interesting day. Jin Jung tried to enter the date he bought the car. He didn't expect that he would actually be able to open the password. At this time, Chief Park pushed the door open and rushed in. The two looked at each other. It turned out that the video inside was the scene of Representative Seo killing someone. The video was recorded by Jin Jung's father. Chief Park suddenly grabbed the Megapixel 3. He hoped that Jin Jung could withdraw from the case because confronting Representative Seo was extremely dangerous. Chief Park didn't want anything to happen to Jin Jung, but Jin Jung wasn't afraid of death. He warned Chief Park not to say such things anymore. Otherwise, Jin Jung would eliminate him first. Because Jin Jung was so stubborn, Chief Park had to find another way to make Jin Jung withdraw. Today is Jin Jung's mother's birthday. Chief Park told Jin Jung to go home to his mother, but as soon as Jin Jung left, Chief Park called Representative Seo. Chief Park said that the Megapixel 3 was here. Chief Park asked Representative Seo to come here to get it. A short time later, Representative Seo appeared in front of Chief Park. On this side, Jin Jung was celebrating his mother's birthday in the hospital when he received a call from the police. Jin Jung hurried back to the civil service office, but Jin Jung only found the place surrounded by the police. Under the white cloth was the body of Chief Park, who had been attacked by Representative Seo. Do Hwan outside witnessed the entire murder process of Representative Seo. When Do Hwan was scared, he was discovered by Representative Seo. When the staff came to clean up the scene, Do Hwan saw a family photo in Chief Park's pocket. Do Hwan's mood was very complicated at this time. When Jin Jung received the news and ran back, all that remained was Chief Park's body. Chief Park did not have any relatives, so his funeral was organized by Jin Jung and Ara. Afterwards, they went to the park department head's house to arrange the relics. Jin Jung discovered that the park department head had secretly switched the Megapixel 3. Jin Jung immediately understood everything. It turned out that the park department head wanted to face the Seo department head himself. He wanted to keep Jin Jung safe. Jin Jung remembered the last time he was stabbed by Secretary Tae. He went to the park department head's house for emergency treatment. At that time, if the park department head hadn't donated blood to save his life, Jin Jung would hardly have survived. Jin Jung had promised that he would save the park department head's life next time, but Jin Jung could never fulfill his promise. Jin Jung angrily punched the bathroom mirror. At today's funeral, the Seo department head shamelessly went to pay his condolences. Jin Jung didn't want to cause trouble at the park department head's funeral, so he told Chun Ki to let the Seo department head burn incense for the park department head. After the Seo department head left the funeral room, Jin Jung chased after him. Jin Jung frankly said that he knew that Megapixel 3 was in the hands of Representative Seo, so Representative Seo could provoke Jin Jung like that. But Jin Jung warned Representative Seo that before he took revenge, Representative Seo should live well. Jin Jung would definitely let Representative Seo die in his hands. After the funeral ended, Jin Jung returned to the crime scene of Chief Park. Jin Jung discovered that a statue on the table had disappeared. Jin Jung immediately made a call. Not long after, a mysterious person brought a bloody statue to Jin Jung. It turned out that this statue was the murder weapon. Representative Seo used it to kill Chief Park. The scene of Jin Jung getting the murder weapon was captured by Do Hwan. He immediately informed Representative Seo. It seemed that someone was secretly helping Jin Jung. Jin Jung quickly sent the statue for testing. The results confirmed that the blood on it was that of Chief Park. At the same time, the statue also left many fingerprints of Representative Seo. Jin Jung wanted to use this as evidence to arrest Representative Seo, but Jin Jung knew that in the past few days, Representative Seo had left the company. In order to find out the whereabouts of Representative Seo, Jin Jung beat Ji Han. But because of this violent behavior, Jin Jung was given a disciplinary order from the prosecutor's office. Jin Jung's recklessness did not give him a better chance. In this difficult situation, Jin Jung decided to go see Taeho. Perhaps Taeho had other criminal evidence against Representative Seo in his hands. Under Jin Jung's persuasion, Taeho finally revealed that Representative Seo could interact with rich and powerful people because Representative Seo had a clever way to protect himself. It turned out that in the past, Representative Seo had helped powerful people solve problems. After solving them, Representative Seo would write down each person's weaknesses in a notebook. Then Representative Seo used it to threaten them. Over the years, more and more people have been controlled by him. Representative Seo has a secret library where his files are kept, but Taeho does not know the exact location of the library. Perhaps Representative Seo only told his closest people. While Jin Jung was trying to find the location of the library, Representative suddenly contacted him. Representative Seo asked Jin Jung to hand over the statue. To force Jin Jung, Representative Seo also used his authority to arrest Jin Jung's associates. However, Jin Jung is not someone who can be easily intimidated. Even if his friends are in prison, he will not bow to Representative Seo. Unfortunately, when Jin Jung returned to the garage to leave, he was attacked by Ji Han. The statue fell into Ji Han's hands, and Jin Jung was also imprisoned by Ji Han Jong in an abandoned warehouse. As night fell, Chun Ki and Ah-ra finished the interrogation. The prosecutor's office could not convict Eun-ji and Nam-do, so they were released from prison. Chun Ki discovered that Jin Jung had lost contact. Fortunately, Eun-ji had quietly connected with Jin Jung through a dating app, so they could track Jin Jung's location. The four immediately set out to find Jin Jung. At this time, Jin Jung was being brutally beaten by Ji Han. The statue was also thrown into the fire and burned. Not long after, Ah-ra and everyone else arrived. When she saw Jin Jung being beaten, she no longer paid attention to the order. Ah-ra directly went forward to rescue Jin Jung in the most barbaric way. After Jin Jung was rescued, his fighting spirit flared up again. Jin Jung drove after Ji Han without leaving. After a tense chase, Jin Jung pulled Ji Han out of the car. Jin Jung beat Ji Han until he fainted. When Ji Han woke up, he was in the hospital. Jin Jung said Ji Han had been in a coma for a week. Representative Seo had been arrested a long time ago, but the important thing was that he had blamed Ji Han for everything. When Jin Jung presented various pieces of evidence, Ji Han believed him without any doubt. Ji Han was unwilling to become a sacrifice for his father like that, so Ji Han begged Jin Jung to spare him this time. What Jin Jung was waiting for was this sentence. In the end, he used Ji Han's freedom to get the location of the library. As soon as Jin Jung got the address, he immediately took down the four walls of the hospital room. It turned out that this was just a temporary warehouse. Jin Jung said goodbye to the surprised Ji Han. After that, Jin Jung took the address and headed towards the library. When the library gatekeeper saw Jin Jung coming, he immediately informed Representative Seo. Representative Seo took out a gun and gave it to Do Hwan. Representative Seo wanted Do Hwan to help him eliminate Jin Jung. Very quickly, the two of them also ran to the library. Do Hwan pulled out a gun, but he did not aim at Jin Jung, but at Representative Seo. It turned out that Do Hwan was Jin Jung's man, and that statue was also secretly given to Jin Jung by Do Hwan. Representative Seo was a bit surprised, but very quickly, he calmed down, because Representative Seo had also suspected Do Hwan, and everything just now confirmed his guess was correct. Representative Seo approached Do Hwan and forced him to shoot. However, when Do Hwan pulled the trigger, he discovered that the gun had no bullets. Immediately after, other subordinates controlled Do Hwan. Do Hwan and Jin Jung both fell into Representative Seo's hands. When Jin Jung woke up from his coma, he heard the sound of trickling water. It turned out that Representative Seo's subordinates were tying them up at the bottom of the swimming pool. They were pouring water into the pool. As the water level was slowly sinking the two of them, Jin Jung and Do Hwan struggled to untie the rope. They finally escaped when they were about to drown. The two went up to the pool and knocked out the subordinates. After Jin Jung returned to Ah-ra, he took out a crumpled document from his pocket. It was part of the information Jin Jung had obtained from Representative Seo's library. Jin Jung hoped that the prosecution could proceed a little faster. The prosecutors needed to arrest Representative Seo before he could act. However, the prosecutors were one step too late. When they arrived, the library had long been cleared. However, Jin Jung still had another way. Jin Jung opened the couple's tracking software, and the location displayed on it was where Representative Seo was transporting the documents. It turned out that Jin Jung had stuffed Nam-do into the document box. Nam-do would use his body to locate Jin Jung. The truck had arrived at the new hideout. While unloading the goods, the man discovered Nam-do, but Jin Jung also arrived in time. Jin Jung quickly took them down. Based on the documents inside the car, Jin Jung filed an application for an emergency arrest warrant against Representative Seo. At today's trial, Jin Jung and Ah-ra were the prosecutors who brought charges against Representative Seo. On the contrary, Representative Seo did not hire a lawyer. Instead, Representative Seo announced that he would defend himself. Representative Seo once again showed his eloquence. He denied everything that Tae-ho and Secretary Tae said. When Jin Jung testified, 2 witnesses were repeatedly suppressed by Seo's representative. Jin Jung had to bring out his last weapon. Jin Jung asked to call one of the most important witnesses to the court. When the main door opened, Do Hwan was standing outside. Seo's representative laughed contemptuously, thinking that Do Hwan had nothing to fear. Unexpectedly, behind Do Hwan suddenly appeared another figure. It was Chief Park, who had returned from the dead. Seo's representative was surprised. His face showed panic. It turned out that on the day Chief Park was attacked, Do Hwan had been watching at the scene. Do Hwan discovered that Chief Park was not dead, but Do Hwan remained silent. When the processing staff left, Do Hwan immediately informed Jin Jung. Together they took Chief Park to the hospital. Only the 2 of them knew this secret. Therefore, Chief Park became the most important witness. When Chief Park sat in court, he accused Representative Seo of trying to kill him. After Chief Park finished speaking, Jin Jung took out the murder weapon, the statue. Jin Jung reported to the inspection department that there was direct evidence that Representative Seo had tried to kill Chief Park. Representative Seo began to exploit the legal loophole again. Representative Seo filed a motion to dismiss and other measures to prolong the proceedings. Jin Jung immediately exposed Representative Seo's trick. Jin Jung declared that Representative Seo was a villain. He was only good at using evil schemes. Therefore, the judge was not allowed to agree to his request, and he had to immediately proceed with the verdict on Representative Seo. Representative Seo had to receive the death penalty. The judges discussed and the court sentenced Representative Seo to death. Jihan also could not escape the punishment of the law. Representative Seo would have to spend the rest of his life in prison. After everything was over, Chief Park decided to resign. When Jin Jung went to see Chief Park off, he reminded Jin Jung about Representative Seo's library. It might contain information about Jin Jung's father. Chief Park always felt that Jin Jung's father was also murdered and that Chief Park himself had implicated him. Hearing this, Jin Jung smiled and reassured Chief Park. Jin Jung insisted that his father's death was just an accident. However, the truth was different. Jin Jung soon discovered his father's file. After Jin Jung looked through the content, he knew that the accident was caused by Representative Seo. But because he wanted Chief Park to live peacefully for the rest of his life, Jin Jung decided to lie. The next day, Jin Jung visited his father's grave. Jin Jung brought his favorite wooden sword. On it were the words, "Evil cannot overcome justice." It means that evil cannot overcome justice. This was his father's favorite saying when he was alive. It was also Jin Jung's motto in life. A month later, a series of personnel transfers took place in the prosecutor's office. Ah-ra was promoted to chief of staff. Jin Jung was once again transferred to the civil service office. When Jin Jung arrived, he found that Chief Park had secretly returned. Chief Park gave Jin Jung a piece of paper. It was a high-level corruption case. Chief Park understood Jin Jung's nature. For this kind of case, Jin Jung would definitely investigate it to the end. Therefore, the civil service office would make it easier for Jin Jung to demonstrate his investigative abilities. Jin Jung understood Chief Park's intentions. Jin Jung felt secure staying at the civil service office because he knew he would always be a crazy prosecutor. Jin Jung would never take the normal path. Finally, the movie ends here. See you all in the next movie.